What up, what up, what up? Guys, I am getting a bit of a cold here the last week and a half. So, my voice is not where it needs to be. As Enzo would say, a little raspy. But nevertheless, it's another beautiful day, and we are here ready to go. So, if you're tuning in on YouTube as usual, be sure to hit the thumbs up and check out the disclaimer. Remember that day trading, like any other business in the world, in the globe, does have risk. It's not the thing that people will think of just walking down the street and picking up gold. Instead, you have to be careful. If you're new, you have to go slow first, right? Slowest is the fastest way. Utilize small size, practice in simulators, paper accounts, improve, become competent before exposing yourself to a ton of risk. All right? Copy trading does not work here in this channel. My results are not typical. And remember, I do not invest my subscribers, so be careful of fake Relentless trader accounts on all platforms. I will never message you first. All right? Even be careful about fake advertisements. There are even people who will sometimes steal the content and, try to scam people. We've seen all these sorts of craziness here over the months and years. So, the watch list. Let's talk about the watch list here. I think the watch list today a little on the softer side, although we still have two stocks that are in play. If we pull up the watch list here, which is brought to us by, of course, Day Trade Dash. Day Trade Dash here. Let's see what we have today. So CETX is leading the way. It's up 188%. But, when we click on this stock, right, CETX, we'll very quickly see that this thing came and gave a good move at 5:45 a.m. I was certainly not awake at this time, and so in this, about 15, 20 minutes of action to 6 o'clock, the move was already what we like to describe as backside, the area where the stock is predominantly selling off and not really in an uptrend anymore. Of course, in backside, sometimes you'll see some big bounces, and some traders are really good at identifying these levels and able to get in for the move back up. But, for me, I've never really been super good at trading the backside, so I try to avoid it. And this stock looks like there's no hope we get back anywhere. In fact, unless it gets over maybe this pivot here, this level here at 13.88, pretty much $14. That's where I think it starts to look pretty bullish again to retake the highs. But yeah, if you're seeing where we are now, which is at 840, 850, it's just so much distance to get back up there to the point where it's like it just doesn't make any sense. I forgot I was on dual screen there. Got to zoom out some more. But yeah, so unless this thing really gets back over, you know, $14, I'm really not that interested. And so this one, I'm not even gonna bother looking at. TGL, too expensive, $50. WVE, which is currently at 74%. Now this one here looks like there's still a good chance we can see a continued move. We had a breakout around 8:20 a.m. Volume decent at the time for those people who were trading the pre-market session here today, right? Not bad. Volume at this time of day decent. Stock pushed up nicely, and now we're sideways in the consolidation. So this to me looks like it's holding up much better, and we might stand a much higher chance here at potentially continuing in the uptrend. And so the pre-market highs are currently, what's this high here? 1450. I don't mind trading an expensive stock. It'll be the same thing. You just have to account for the slightly bigger range. But, candlesticks are candlesticks, right? So whether it's at 50 cents or $15, it doesn't matter. TGL, TGL just a little, a little much, right? We typically are not really trading over $25, but if the stock is moving, like if this stock here goes up to $50, we'll keep trading it all the way there. But for something that's just already at that price point, it's just not what I'm looking at here. So WVE looks good. WKHS, I don't think I like that one as much. IBIO, it's been hitting the scans. And so, yeah, looking okay. Let's see, IBIO. Let me pull it up over here. These days, I think keeping it simple, there's some good things with keeping it simple, just having 2 to 3 stocks on the watch list. So, okay, initially we had highs at 166, then we got up there to 181, and now we're making a new high coming up to $2 here. So this is a good bull flag here actually. This was a good bull flag. 79. Not bad at all. So this one here offering some opportunities right now. Um Time, we have 9 minutes to the open. I think these are going to be the two stocks I watch. I didn't notice any penny stocks. If there's any penny stocks, you guys can definitely let me know. We got Mighty with the detailed watch list, of course. Right on time for those people in the chat room. $95. Okay. I'll start watching this one for trades. Oh, it is moving. It is moving all right. Definitely moving a lot more than I would have expected. So that's good. Let's see if it's able to hold up and continue here. 215 from 192 just now. Not bad. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna chase it with a small position. Let's just see what it does here. 100 shares. I can't chase with size because it's just it's just a little too much to be doing with size this early. 38. It might keep going, but can we get a good entry here on perhaps a pullback? There's 42. Time. We got 6 minutes. It's 24. It's quite the 5-minute candlestick here, really. We might be at the beginning of a pullback here. Got to be careful. It's a little sketchy. Our 5 minute candlestick, of course, is still strong, but we could still end up pulling back. I'm using starter share still and watching to see if it does end up holding. Because if it does, I want to be in. What's the high? 42? And that looks like it's going to be a false breakout. Well, not a false breakout, but, you know, a bit of a phony red to green. I'm in at 28, out at 20 right there. We had 35 or so. It's now. So yeah, we're gonna see a pullback here. So, well, I'm a little late to it, which is fine. I'm a little late to the show. I need to come off of the split screen. Let me get rid of the split screen. I wasn't really supposed to start trading yet. That's kind of what happened there. But yeah, I know the chart is behind the scanner. Lows around $2.10 here so far. It definitely still looks bullish despite the pullback. The key is us seeing a bottom. I'm going to take a starter here again, a $2 area, and just, you know, see what it does. Small size still. The VWAP is in proximity. If this is the backside, then there's nothing left here, right? I mean, we'll see. I'm willing to just take small size. But if it's the backside, then it's Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas tree down there to like 180 or whatever. Christmas tree. Christmas tree. It's gonna be Christmas tree if we don't hold up. The VWAP is at 95, 94-ish. I'm still long at $2 area, watching to see if we do hold the VWAP. Only 700 shares. Time, it's 29. We're pretty much going to be trading this one right into the open. What will it be? All right, I'm going to take a loss there. It is looking Christmas tree-ish. WVE on the other hand. So I'm down $200 there to start. I did add a little bit at the lows. WVE, switching over to WVE. Damn, what was that high? 13. WVE, we have a pivot here at 1330 or so. So this one, I'm just way too late to start trading it. That's what I can see here. Literally, as I'm here, it's just like backside. CTX. Damn, my freaking audio is in the slums, bro. Holy shit. Let me turn this down. Ah, there we go. That's much better. Yep, and of course I missed the push on the other one, looking away. Oh, that is not right. WVE, man, nice push right there. Anyhow, it's early. You know, let's see what it does. Damn, bro. I pull up CETX and this thing is already up $1 a share. Like, come on. Watching it closely. Watching it closely here. WVE. So far, the pullback is really tight. Oh, man. Bro. I'm in with a small position, but it's a tight pullback. I got a couple hundred shares here, and I'm willing to add. Here WVE. The key here is, will our candlestick hold up, you know? $40. Can we hold up? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like we can hold up. Well, there's another $200 loss. I didn't think selling right below the pivot was worth it because, it's an expensive stock, but it's selling off here for now. So no follow through early here. Will we see a bull flag hold up? So in 400 shares at 70 and out at like 38, or no, 30, out at 30. Not ideal. CETX, there's a couple seconds. It could be worth it. But, again, the stock is not in a great place. We're kind of curling up off the lows. And CETX at 915. Bro, that is there's another $200 loss. Okay, well, I'm down $600 here pretty quickly. I'm green on realized there, 15 cents. Didn't take it, and it's in the slums. Okay, I gotta cut my trades a little quicker. So last week we mentioned that we have to be careful of a slower start. Is something we got to say here into the open. We did see this a lot last week where we had EDRX. We had a lot of slower days to start, and then something came like 15 minutes after the open. Jeez Louise. So WVE, this one here, still kind of fighting. The dip and rip gave like 15 to 20 cents, but I kind of thought we could have double bottomed there to then try again. Typically on a $9 stock, we'll see more like 40 cents, 50 cents. Didn't take the 15, 20 cents and got cooked. And the dropouts are insane, right? Like this is like from my break even stop, it's like a 40, 50 cent dropout in 1 second. Ross down 38K. No, that's not a good sign for anybody here. So sidelines to be for the next 10 minutes at least till something else comes up. So just gonna hang out for a couple minutes. Keep rotating through IBIO, curling up. Bro. Is this going to be the one? I hope, right? I hope IBIO is going to be the one here. This is just so risky. The breakout trade on WVE is just a little too risky, I think. IBIO. Hopefully this is the one that's able to hold up. That can give us something here. I feel pretty confident if we can see something hold up that that's always the catch here. Whatever stock gives follow through, it's being green is not hard at all. It's if the stock can hold up in a good area, right? We get 2, 3 good green candles. Can we have a good normal pullback? Continue to the upside. Right now, we're seeing 3 good green candles and then a move back down to the lows. So resumption time on IBIO. We got 2 minutes 50 seconds. Who's the hidden seller here? And how many shares are they selling? Because there's so much buying and nothing. Of course, that's how it does it, right? A minute 27 seconds to the resumption. Oh shit, the resumption is 16 seconds for IBIO. Not the cleanest. It's a lower resumption. I think WVE, I'll just focus on this one. So we had a good breakout from 75, although there was no entry down there at the breakout level, right? Hidden seller into explosion. Time. We're gonna have a new candlestick here in our bigger time frame. Let's see. If we need more pullback, I want to be careful of the 5-minute setup. If we do need more pullback. Because the 5-minute setup could give us a pretty big dip. What's high of day? 1490. Not really in a rhythm here yet. But definitely watching this current consolidation. So it looks like we're getting a 5-minute pullback. The key again is for it not to go all the way back down to, $13. If we can hold up somewhere and then find, the red to green. If it just sells off all the way down, then there's. So watching the current area here, our 1-minute flag broke down after a false 1-minute candle to make the new high. Now watching and waiting. So I have a position here. I mean, I got to be careful because if this thing wants to come down, I do not need to be in. And it's kind of low, like. Okay, there's a bounce. Can we hold up? It's like it just with the way how we're dropping. It's like it just doesn't feel, it doesn't feel great, the trade itself. So I'm gonna reduce the risk. Like we're breaking down to the new low. It's looking like it's just gonna come all the way down here. So in at 49, just taking some small profits there. It's just looking Christmas tree-ish here. So from 1330 to 1490, again, our pullbacks are just not holding up. Like we're back at the same place we started, and it's a Christmas tree again, the third stock straight. So there's no real uptrend. There's just a candle that went up, and then if we look at what happened here, right, there's a big green candle that came, and then that was pretty much the move. We're not seeing anything holding up for an uptrend. Yeah, that was a good sell. Like, just how we're breaking down that level without slingshotting back up, just not worth it there. No, I'm red $200 on three stocks. Oh, for three here, and waiting for something good. This breakout, even this area here, honestly didn't look that good. There's of course a chance for a breakout the way how we set up here with the candle opening high, but you know it was pretty bearish here in this setup, I'd say. But you'd love when the breakout, you love when the breakout like gets through the hidden seller and there's a chance to get in, right there, right over the level 80, 85. This just kind of shot straight up to like 1430, 1420. So hopefully we can continue to hold this level here at 22 at least. But it looks like head and shoulders are incoming. We'll see if the short sellers take it down. Man, these pullbacks are insane. Holy smokes. SUGP doesn't look that good. IBIO, it's curling up a little bit. And we didn't really hold this 1340 level well last time. We kind of went all the way down to 1310. Yeah. And then came back above 1320. From what I can see right now, personally, for me, I don't think anything is worth trading. We had some areas that looked really good and promising, but then no follow through. So back on the sidelines again. Back on the sidelines. We need the new 5 minute candlestick to give a good breakout. Right here, we don't want to see any big drops, even if it pullbacks, gradual pullbacks and holding up. But can we see a push into this new 5-minute candlestick? Good to see a setup work out there. $15 to $38. I'm still on the sidelines, just watching. I do like that the push over 415 or 415 the first time went up to 438 or 1438 rather. I'm in no rhythm with this thing whatsoever. No rhythm with it whatsoever. SUGP, the volume seems too light. Just watching from the sidelines here. Yeah, some people are definitely gonna be watching GPCR instead. WVE still pushing down a little bit. Uh, I'm watching at it for potential red to green here. We'll see if it's able to find a bottom. Definitely not trying to catch the falling knife though. I don't know. I'd say it's a tough day so far, man. If anybody's like really like destroying and dominating, it's like a really good, it's a really good day. But I don't know. I think the momentum here a little bit more tough today. And the range is so big too. Time. I'm gonna take a starter here. Oh shoots. Damn, that could have been dangerous. I almost hit the hotkey for 4,500 shares. Although, well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because that stuff happens. Now, here's what's going to be interesting, right? On this move we're seeing here to 50, will we be able to hold tightly and push through, or can we just push through? I mean, either or could work. That's the key, is if it can just push through, and if it pushes through, can we get separation to then hold above this resistance? Because 50 right now is resistance. If we can hold above 50, great. Well, it's gonna turn out to be a great trade. Although, I only had a starter, right? I was worried about the range of the trade, so well, we made 80 cents here with our last couple of shares, which is quite fantastic. Will we see the pullback hold up tightly here, or will we pull all the way back down to $14 again? That's for me is the key, right? Will when this stock starts to pull back, which it will here in the next minute or two, will we pull back down to 14, or will we hold up the key levels? you know, nothing more, nothing less. It's quite the move here, really. Ah, man, I tell you, can we hold up? I'd hope we can see a pullback before it keeps like it could keep going, but hopefully we can see a pullback here. Ay ay ay. Is this the beginning of the pullback? Again, are we going to bottom out somewhere reasonable if it does pull back here? Or are we going to go back down to 14, right? Because in the event where it goes back down to 14, I'm going to be cooked in a trade. It's holding tightly here so far. It's still pretty early in the pullback. I want to be patient. I'm open to trying to break out, but it's not what I would prefer. But it kind of just comes down to what it does here because it might not pull back at all, right? That's always a possibility. Still haven't seen anything yet, I'd say, relative to where we came from. And the other one got up to 93 is crazy. Oh, it looks like it looks, I don't know, it's looking like it's holding tight, which I don't love, but if that's the case, that's fine. Ay, ay, ay. Tight pullback. The tight pullback. Yeah, that other stock. I mean, was it probably the one to maybe look at? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not seeing that seller. Could be hidden orders now. We did have 120,000 share seller here. Same thing as last time, man. It just boosts through. But we know there's hidden sellers there, so it's hard to buy that breakout, We have green printing and us not going up. But it looks like we finally broke through the order. Small position at 28. Just a little frustrating to not capture those two bigger breakouts. The area just a little tough. We have I know for a fact we had hidden sellers there, right? Now I guess the only thing I could have done was to just chase 1520. Maybe I could have chased 1520, but it's not the entry that we really are looking for. Time. Just holding a really small position now at 28, but again, we're not getting to put any size in the areas where we're more confident because of how the circumstance of the trade is playing out. Definitely frustrating. The days of trying to just buy a hidden seller with size blindly is just not doesn't make any sense. For then the stock to then break out like this is a slap in the face. Watching this pullback here. Got some shares 36, 37, but it's definitely a bit of a riskier area here for sure. The 1 minute candle to make the new high would be at 47. What was that? Is there a seller? The level 2 definitely moving a little strange at times. There's 48. .50 playing hardball here. Can we see 70, 75, 80? Breakout trades are not ideal. The dips are definitely a little bit better. Well, I'm all out from the lows there. 36 to 49, added back at 54, sold at 72 and 58. Looks like half of that position pretty much got sold flat. From 75, we're back down to 50 pretty quickly. We sold half pretty much flat. So definitely out a little too soon. We're seeing not all the way here to 90. So right now, for me, it comes down to just waiting for the next setup again. It's tough to just jump on the wave. Like, do I want to just chase this high here, 23? It's kind of tough to jump on the wave. Oh, there's 33. It is going. Yeah, I sold way too early. I mean, 75 was decent, but again, selling all of the rest when we came back down to 50 was I was out a little too soon right there. So didn't have any shares to hold all the way up here into this sweet move. I think half though at 70 was good from where we added back, but needed to still be holding something right here into like 1590, 1610 would have been nice. Our 5 minute candlestick is red. It's hard to say where the pullbacks will be. A lot of the times our trend lines and or indicators EMA wise, moving averages wise, are not really holding all the time. So I'm gonna throw out another starter here just to see what it does. Really small size. See, I'm in a place like this, right? Like how hard is it to take size? Like it is pretty tough to take size, right? Like there's no idea here. I'm just kind of seeing what it does into this moving average. Our level 2 is showing some buying, but you know we've seen buying at every level. It still goes down. So, but I'm more comfortable for like the candlestick breaking out at a level if there's no hidden seller. But you know we're seeing hidden sellers from time to time. So again, that trade right there, right? That's the type of trade where I'm just like again, you know, I'm kind of stuck in this loop, right? It's impossible to know that bottom was going to come there. And now when we do get confirmation, we're up 30 cents in an instant move. There's no way I can add right here at 1630, right? It's like a dog chasing its own tail here. Give me something to add, brother, please. And then we got to also be careful of this candlestick washing out. So will we see the buying? That's the key here. Good, good, good. Now fly. Bro, holy shit. Selling half 25. I'm selling at 1605. Bro, what is this madness? Oh, that is brutal. Ah, good old day trading. Just a slap in the face on that trade there. Can we see third? What was the high? 38. Bro, come on, man. Jeez. Big Steve, I'm trying my best here. And the market punching me in the mouth. So I'm holding it at $16 now, 100 plus shares only. See, the half I tried to sell at 25, I sold at 02 because it teleported down. And now I'm scaling out the rest. I think dips here can be good, although they'll be hard to determine. We have 1690 high. The people who can take size after the push to 1630, it's like, you know, the confirmation there just gives too much of a move to where the bottom of the trade is, so the risk becomes like 50 cents if I'm adding there like 20 aggressively. The risk is literally 50 cents, and we kind of expected like a 50-cent move. I'm gonna take a starter here again. Don't you don't you do it to me. Adding again. Average. Do not destroy the past store with a trade going down. We just had $17 here. We should be holding up fairly easily on the curl. I'll reduce my risk slightly and then maybe look to add lower because that was quite the drop off. And of course, as I'm reducing my risk, which is, damn it, man. As soon as I reduced my risk, I had 1,300 shares at 50. I reduced my risk to 500 shares and then we're bouncing, right? Just another slap in the face. Big Steve, I'm getting cooked. At every turn, there's some adversity. I am interested here again because why not? Until it fails miserably. And when it does fail, I need to like not touch it at all, right? Give me something again. I'll take it. Give it to me and I'll take it here. Doesn't look like it's gonna give it. Doesn't look like it. We held up a little high there. So I'm holding at 1650. Just a couple shares. Not able to add back. It might go. It's hard to say here. I mean, it's looking like it could go. Will we push right through or are we going to see resistance at 17? I'm only green 350 on this stock. It's just, you know, I'm frustrated, but just have to keep trading because there's nothing else to do, right? Can't stop trading and be on the sidelines. It's just a little frustrating to do get into a rhythm and then there's something preventing me from getting in with the size, like those two hidden sellers. Damn, no fill. How this man? I tell you, I don't know. I got filled. I did get filled. Okay, no problem. But I canceled the order. How did I get filled? Oh, freaking thing, man. I don't know. It kind of needs to go. I feel like it's like we've kind of been here. Low. Okay. If it breaks down, I need to be patient in case it is backside. But if it curls back up, because we could break down this level here pretty easily. Yep. We're gonna break down that level. I'll take a loss there. I don't want to be too hasty here, but I'll keep an eye just in case. Like levels like that, bro. I bought 35, I sold 25, and we're back at 65. Tough. My fills are in the moon. This is good though. I'd hope we can get one more entry. It's hard to tell if we will, but if we can get one more, then I'll be ready to go. If not, maybe it goes all the way. And it might go all the way. Son of a gun. Ah, man. Well, nobody ever said it was going to be easy. Easy doesn't exist. There's only adversity that we must push through. I'm going to take a starter there. It's just really high, but it's a starter. Just gauging it. It looks like it wants to go over 17 is how it's looking. But as we know, it's hard to say if we will end up holding. I got to be careful here. I could be in a little too heavy. A little too high, rather. We added one too many times there. Poor execution. Bro, come on. Oh man, that is just insane. Oh my goodness, man. I'm like stopping out at the bottom of the freaking thing, man. Like at the bottom. I stopped out at 23 right there. Bro, that is just I should have bought back though. Oh, it's not done yet. It's not done. It's not done. Dude, that is brutal. I only have 160 shares at 35. Just brutal. It looks like it could do something here. All right. Man. Absolutely brutal in that last dip. I didn't have size or anything, but it's more so my starter size stopped out, because well, if I'm recognizing the balance and I'm in, I'll just add. So some execution issues here now that we have to tighten up on. The 1 minute candle, it looks interesting here. Let's see if it can go over time. The only risky thing here is adding is going to increase my cost basis, which could get me out of the trade if it's not an instant breakout if it decides to go. Hmm. Yeah, it's just trying for the breakout. Like it needs to be instant. It just adds so much risk to the trade. Time. Volume is low here. I hope they filled me at a good area. I added just 600 shares. This is where it needs to go, or else I'll get stopped out because I increased my average cost, right? And it is stopping me out for a couple cents loss. Yeah, that's the risk in that type of trade. And that is the risk. So it's not ready yet, despite pushing over 65 right there. 80 and back down very quickly. Bro, please go, 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 go. Fly. Take me to the moon, please. Fly. 80, 85, 90. Fly. 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 There's no flying. There's only 75 by 85. I'm not in, and we're kind of still here. The breakout trades are so tough, because if I'm buying 1680, there's no instant move, right? I mean, we're seeing it every now and again, but it's not consistent. We're more likely to be back down here in at 1680 out at 1650, right, on a breakout trade. So we have a new candlestick. Are we able to hold up? We haven't really tested the lows of the consolidation in a while, and it would be great if we don't need to at all. Is the backside approaching, or are we still bullish? I think for now we're still bullish, but the moment it comes down below like 1630, oh no, 16, let's say like 16. The moment it breaks below $16, that's it, cooked. People are probably already short against the highs, which is a fair trade, I'll say, but right now there's still a chance, like, it can go down or go up, right? There's like 50 chance here. Although we've been more bullish than bearish recently in the uptrend. For the people who are even holding longer, right? Like if you're in it, let's say 1630, we go to 1680, it's back down. Like, are people really holding through that entire thing without selling anything? And if they are, like, like maybe they're thinking 1750. But even then, the way how this thing is moving, it's so hard to tell for sure with that absolute certainty. I'm definitely paying attention for a volume spike because that could lead to something if it happens. Jesus Christ, bro. Oh, that is just. There's a $17 stock. Big levels here. Big levels. There's definitely people short 1660, 1670, 1680, and they're hoping 17 doesn't come and for this thing to sell off into oblivion. There are some long traders might be still holding from like, $13, $14, watching for 17, 18, 19. And people recycling shares trying to get back in. If we hold up our current support, would be huge for the push through 17. If not, we'll see. So big levels here. 1635, 1620, 16. It might be cooked. It could be cooked. What's it going to be? Our short seller is going to get the payday of a lifetime here. If I see 1630 with enough volume, I might get back in here. But I need to see big buying. It might be done so. It might be done so. Man, just a interesting day. You know, it took us a while to get into rhythm, and then in a lot of the key places where we could have put size, there's one reason or another we don't have the size. Oh, that was the quickest loss in history. And I took the wrong hotkey. Great, 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 lovely, lovely. Well, that was a free win for whoever was on the other side of the trade there. Come on. Well, that'll put me from plus 250 on the name to plus 60. Not great to end the day here, as we're pretty much maybe on backside. Well, the point remains here that anytime a stock is able to curl up, we're more than likely doing well. It's when we're seeing early in the day, like just something just selling off immediately after a good move, and you're in on the dip here, and the stock is just teleporting down. That was a pretty poor mistake just now there with size, but nevertheless, a stock curls up and holds up. Surprise, surprise, we're making something. A stock sells off right away after giving two green candles going up. Surprise that there's a loss, right? Taking the good setup, and it's like a Christmas tree. And we didn't really get into our opening statements today because we started trading in pre-market, which maybe we probably should have even avoided that. But um, we had last week a lot of stocks take, you know, let's rephrase that. A lot of stocks didn't really hold up early, and it took some time for something to like hold its levels. Shit, bro, look at that. Yeah, back over 30, right? Look at that, right? Holy smokes. People are going to cover their shares because it's just too aggressive. I have no shares in here, though. Oh, I let my guard down a little there. Damn, that was very, very fast. It's going to more than likely go here through 17. When I took that big size by accident, right? Come on, man. We could have had some luck here at least. Holy smokes, that was pretty insane. Damn. Jeez Louise. See, this is why I do feel pretty good though. Like this, that's unbelievable, bro. Oh, it's gonna go. It is gonna go. It's just gonna go. It's no way it doesn't go here over time. Even if it's not in this candlestick over the next couple of minutes, it looks really good off of that red to green. Jeez, man. Big Steve, bro. Big Steve. Are you seeing this? The setup of setups on the red to green, and I'm nowhere to be found, to be seen, despite having the trade idea. I'm trying so hard to not say I'm going mad, you know? I'm trying so hard not to say that. Ay, 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 ay. The good news is that still mentally, we're seeing it, and it is quite interesting the circumstances, though, that's leading to us not being able to capture. Just now, I'm literally like, my guard is down thinking this thing is like finished, right? Talking about how I hit the wrong hotkey the first time. That's the difference. That right there is the difference. Something as small as that is the difference of you making 50 cents in a good trade. What I like is that if it doesn't go right now, our former support is still there, and so there's a chance we still consolidate. But if it goes right now, we'll probably get the new high into 1740. It's hard to say how high it will go. Damn it. I gotta cut my trades quicker too. I think it's something we gotta do better for tomorrow. Will it go here? Right now, short sellers are trembling in despair. They are squeezing their fingers and praying. There's more than likely a lot of people still short 1670, 1680, 1640, 50. The trade was there, and so people will be short and not willing to cover because it hasn't broken out yet. Honestly, it could still come back down, right? That's obviously something we've seen a million times despite a good move coming up. So some short sellers are going to be there as cool as a cucumber. Just, hey, my stop is 1750 and my reward is this thing going back down to $10. Good risk to reward in terms of cents. But however, if it does go and they cover their sweet shares, is where we can potentially see the moon. I'm definitely willing to take the breakout trade here, assuming it doesn't just like teleport up 50 cents. Then it's just going to be tough to chase an entry like that. Come on. Give us a clean opportunity to get in on the breakout and then rip to the moon like we know we can. It is a crazy reality to know that when this stock is done, it'll probably go back down to like $13, $10, $8. Where did we start? Yeah. In 2 days' time, this thing is going to be at $8. It's just a crazy thing to just sit down and think. So the key here now is will we see our previous level here hold up nicely? I'm not switching away from this one. You know what's interesting about this area here is that we have our previous support, and we have, you know, the levels we've kind of been holding. So it's like a wide range here. So again, short sellers, again, a lot of people are going to still just be holding because, you know, so we'll see if it's able to try again over time. Although that move, I would say, had some people nervous for sure. Ah, man. I just feel like I like, you know, compared to like hyper scalping, right? Where on any single trade at any single time, I could use size pretty much. Like I can just, hey, boom, 8K size, just go crazy because there's the trades are so frequent that, you know, you're gonna have that opportunity in there, right? With holding longer, taking less trades, like there's less opportunities overall in that aspect, right? Of quantity of trades you're taking. And there's been so many different reasons why, for one reason or another, it didn't make sense to size. You know, and I'm like, maybe I need to just expand my comfort zone of what size should be. And like a starter position, instead of being a couple hundred shares or 100 shares, maybe need to be 2,000 share starter. So I'm just always in with something, you know? Because that's the issue I'm having now. It's like, if I go through this thing and count the cents I've made in all my trades, like I'm way green versus the red trades, you know? Some positions were holding a quarter of the shares all the way into like 50 cents move, but we just need our base size to be a little bit bigger. But in those areas where we had the hidden seller, it's just too tough to take the breakout trade there. It's, you know, we don't want to be like taking a gamble, you know. There needs to be like good evidence behind the entry. Earlier we had the trade also where we took the good starter. You know, I think I did we get to add a couple hundred shares more. It's hard to say, but we had some good areas. The volume is decreasing a little bit here over the last 5 minutes. Mm, 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 mm. This is like so from the time this thing started to move, bro. It's like to be up 2K is like nothing. Should be nothing on a stock like this. So after the move, we were up 258, 260. After the trade at 1630, we and you know, even that trade we needed to stop out like quickly. I think we got to do a better job of that tomorrow. But we went back down to just plus 90, and now we took a loss up here. We're literally just green $50 on this thing. The plus 250 though is pretty like very good for what type of size I had. Like the areas where I captured a move with the size I had, it was like pretty good. Like dollar a share plus kind of good. We did have that 1300 share position as well where we reduced the risk, and then we ended up seeing a move, but we, you know, we're only in like 500 shares after we sold. So that particular trade there, some mismanagement perhaps. Still keeping an eye. Oh man, brutal. In at 70, out at 73. We did see 85 right there. Now it's a bit of like a breakout over that level, 60s, mid 60s. We're back up here, 20 cents off the highs. Again, I can imagine short sellers feeling a little bit more tense because we could end up teleporting up there, 17.50, $18. If it goes through the level and there's a breakout trade, I definitely wouldn't mind trying it with size, but you know, again, the risk is going to be there. About a 10, 15, 20 cent loss could easily happen. Like if we get to like 17.10, 17.15, and I size up over the level and it just, you know, gives out. What a day. Give it to us. Give it to us. Fly, fly, fly to the moon. Rip through 17 and have these short sellers feel some more pain. Is this it? Is the 100 time the charm? Is the 100 time the charm here? WVE. Oh. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Rip through the moon. Fly. Oh, damn. Why is it moving like this? Are we good? Damn, bro. My average is way too high. Hold up. Hold up. As mentioned, if we get over the level, I don't mind trying it with size here. Take me to 1750. Like you know you can. 1,200 shares was size right there, by the way. No real size. Gotta still push it some more. Holding 200 shares at 1706. Bro, I needed to slam like 8K size. I'm in there with 1,200 shares. I'm cooked. Big Steve, I'm done. I'm done for. 1,200 shares might as well have been 500 shares. At least 2,500 right there. I'm holding 400 shares at like 10. Man, I am cooked with size. As Crispy would say, you gotta pinch the sacks and just go for it. You gotta pinch the sack and just go for it. It could go here. The pullback is going to be very difficult to determine once again because, you know, it's like a 70-cent move. Pastor needed more size at 1705 entry. And I keep saying I need more size every day, every minute of every day. I'm going to go mad. I'm going to go mad. Well, at least the move is what we thought we could have seen, which is good news. It seems like it wants to pull back. Will it? Or will it keep going? There, all it's going 73. There's the pullback. How low can this go? Is a key question. Will we see 30s, 20s, or will we hold 50 right here? This dip, I don't mind taking some more shares, but you know, we also got to be accurate. Oh man. The good news is that I'm seeing exactly what I need to see. I just gotta freaking get around to just pushing size. Like it's so weird because like like size feels like nothing to do, but still like I'm not taking size, right? Like I watch videos of myself taking crazy size. 75 is the high. Was it gonna be here? Most of the times, though, the issue is taking a starter in a place where I'm seeing some support, but also expecting us to go lower to add. And we never going lower a lot of the times. And it's like, man. So the only solution is that the base starter size has to be more size. Maybe I got to take like 500 shares minimum, or maybe even more than that. Can we see through 18? Nope, we will not. That would have been very good if that could have went through 18, but 2K starter, Big Steve, and then go up to 8K size, right? If I do that though, the only issue, I guess there's not gonna be a real issue. But on the days like today where I take the red start, I'll be down like 2K to start the day. Which if mentally my mind is there and we're gonna see a stock like this where you can then make 10K, being down 2K is nothing. Because then you're plus 8K on the day, right? So having to mentally expand the comfort zone with size after using small size for so long. Because we're finding that every time a stock is uptrending, we're making money. The biggest issue is that we're just not taking size, which would then, be exponential for the P&L. The key will be on the days where it's just not as strong or it takes longer for us to see something good, to be a little bit more tighter on those days to where the red is just very small. But right now, the biggest issue is not capturing the green as efficiently due to our lack of size. Our dip has held fairly high. A bit of a tricky one right there. Bro, look at that fill, son. Damn, they don't play, son. Holy shit. A bit of a false breakout. Are we going to be able to hold and retest? Nah, bro. Okay, we took a good $250 loss there. over 2 trades at 18. And in typical fashion, when I did have 2,500 shares, then the trade doesn't want to work, right? Which is why we have to be consistent with size through and through, so that every other trade that came that worked, we would have already been nicely green. We're still here, but it seems a little choppy. We had 823 high right there. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm giving back way too much here. With size. All right. Plus 500 on the stock to now plus 150 in 3 trades too. The thing, where my mind is mentally right now, like the money itself that we're seeing on stocks like this, it's confirmation of only one thing, which is that when a stock continues to go up without just like selling off right away, in the last like month, we're like 9 out of 10 making money on those stocks, even if we undercapitalize without size. Like we're ending fairly green most of the times, you know, which is why I'm like looking to size up, right? So in comparison, before that, it's like, you know, trying to find the balance between the quicker trades and the holding longer. This is probably not a bad place to be short either. Like, you know, I don't know for sure, but it seems like it's struggling a little bit. Yeah. Um, when a stock goes up like this, we're seeing green versus, you know, like a month plus ago, you know, struggling in between, like holding longer, quick scalps. We just got to be very careful of the stocks that are looking decent early. That, you know, hey, first 5 minutes halted up. Like on Friday, we had that type of stock, right? Like consecutive green candles halted up, and then literally after the resumption, it's just, you know, the stock is just down, 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 down. So every day there's something holding up, even if it's a penny stock too, because we saw some good action on those too as well. We're doing very good. So we're exactly where we need to be. We just have to continue working on sizing, and it'll become exponential, right? I can already see it. It's a matter of just working every day to implement it. Just now, what happened just now is a top heavy kind of day, meaning we finally take some sides right here. This setup doesn't quite work, right? We gave back like 350 off the top. We're green at 350 on top of what we had with that smaller size through and through and through and through. So it's very clear to me here that the progress is really good over the last couple of weeks and couple of months altogether. And we're centimeters close to being where we need to be. Centimeters. Once we dial in the size, hello, big green. Hello, big green. it's definitely having some issues because we're in a place where, yes, we're up quite a bit from the $13 level, but the stock is it's in a place where it seem like we'd be really bullish, right? Nah. Thank God I didn't have size there. Jeez. In at 18, it has to be done here. This is the place to be short. It has to be because what is it? We never saw that in a breakout before, right? At the strong level. It is cooked. All right, I'm going to stop here. We started red on this one, 338. We got up to green 500 at our highs. We're ending at 108 on this one. Red day. The other two stocks were down 200 apiece. So red 360 over the three stocks. But again, very promising. I'm curious too. Something that's always interesting is when you start a day with some losses, it can influence you just a little bit. Like the resumption trade, I was up 15 cents unrealized, just didn't, typically in the past, I'd like, hey, take that 15 cents. But here I'm like, let's kind of see if this thing wants to really open up because we know we can see like a 50-cent move out of a resumption, like nothing. Giving it that chance to come back down to retest my entry, which was pretty much a support, it failed, and there's a 50-cent loss, right? Down 250 right there. Those small areas like that can make a difference. Size wise, I'm trying to see how many shares I had in that trade. I had 600 shares, and I'm in at 922. We get up to like 945 or something like that. Let me see. What was the high? CETX. The highs on CETX. It's saying 970, but I don't think we had 970. We had like 940. Let me see, let me double check. Yeah, I think we had like 945 area. Maybe like 15, 20 cents unrealized in the green. And then again, we're stopping out of that trade at 880 from 922. 50-cent loss. And we did say to ourselves, like the stock is curling up off the lows from a place where it's like a little bit more grim. Probably should have avoided the trade or at the very least just take the 15 cents that we had. Your game plan has to be sound before you start trading those type of stocks like in that type of area. Even though the one on Friday was in a very bullish place and just kind of did its own thing. Yeah, I think this. I mean, it's hard to say, but I think it's finished. We haven't had a bullish area that broke out and like is teleporting down in the move up. So it's tough to say with certainty, but maybe this is the place here to finally be short for me if I'm watching it to go down. Gotta dial in the size, bro. Holy smokes. This type of move, this type of day, 2K minimum, right? Minimum worst case scenario should be the amount that we're up. That last trade though is a trade where I could get caught with size because we got back over the resistance. I took over 1810 I'm thinking, hey, yeah, we had some trouble right there, but if we can get back over that level, this more than likely looks good to go to 1830, 1840. I'm in at 1814, 160 shares, and it's teleporting down to 1780. It's like, nah, that's not what we want to see. So even like right here, if you're still looking for breakout trades, got to be very careful with it slamming back down. So there's over 90, 95. And sometimes you just have long bias traders who are in for a long time, maybe since here at 16, maybe lower. Sometimes you'll have people say, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna take my I'm gonna take my 30,000 shares off the table. Boom. A guy like Ross Cameron, sometimes 40, 50,000 shares of stock like this. And 18, we're up fairly good. So over a certain point, it's like, man, you know what? I'm just taking it off the table. And sometimes you can see 1830 and then the stock teleports back down in one of those key areas. Boom, right back down to 1780. So again, lows of 330, highs of 500, and over 18 we gave back $400 pretty much with size 2,500 shares, 1,200 shares in 3 trades. Here it tries again. Is it gonna go? It's the third time the charm here at 1810 area. We had the 1790 flat top push right there. So again, I would have went short. Let's say I did go short down there, like 1795. I'm kind of getting squeezed here a little bit. I'm kind of getting squeezed. It is so weird to see myself just trade 40,000 shares in a day, though. Like 30,000. Like what the hell? We need to see those numbers being 300,000 shares. We got a 10x, Big Steve. We need to 10x. I am tempted to take a trade here. Tempted into the breakout. Long 32, but are we going to see over 40? 39, 40, only 600 shares. 40, just, kind of struggling here. There we go, 42. I'm all out 39. Well, that's if I even got that good fill. There was a small downtick there. I expected it to sell off. It didn't sell off. It's kind of still here. I'm gonna attempt break a 50. It's gonna be a tricky trade here, but holy smokes, that was quick. Can we see it? Can we see it? Can we see it? Can we see it? In at 47, out at 45 right there. Didn't see it. I wanted to be in more at like 42, but it just came up so quick. These type of trades is what I don't want to be taking, if I'll be honest. I mean, there was an opportunity there at 30 for the entry. I think here again at 40, 45, because if it does go through 50, we can see like 65, 70 pretty easily. But I don't love these trades because the stock is fluctuating so much. Like it's not as decisive. You know, are we going to go here? It's looking decent again. I'm not in this time. There's 58 and there's 63 for a couple, 15 cents, 10 cents. Those are more of like the quicker scalpier trades. But 50 to 70, right? Again, like it's not too bad there once we do get that follow through. Oh man. WVE. For those people that go all the way till 4 o'clock, I don't know, maybe it keeps going, right? It's hard to say, but it's been quite the move here. Maybe I bring back the rule of like nothing in the first 3 minutes as well, because I think that might be a good rule. That maybe maybe even a little longer than that. Here's a pullback coming in. I'm gonna throw out a starter position again. What's the time? Stopping out of that starter position as we're seeing new lows. There is a new candlestick. Throwing out another starter here to see if we're able to start basing. I tried to add it, the mid-teens, didn't get the fill. Did not get the fill. Damn, bro. Getting the fills sometimes. A lot of the I don't know. A lot of the times on this one in particular, once it's like once we're kind of curling, there's like a boost, right? We're not really getting like the gradual curl all the time. Once that boost does come, right? Adding it like 30, it just increases the risk a lot compared to where my stop is in the trade, you know? There's 50. So 1808 entry and scaling out slowly. Scaling out. High of days at 74. Do we need a pullback here? Or is it ready to test the level of 74 already? Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do for tomorrow, I'm gonna sit down and like think. I'm gonna sit down and like think a little bit more about how I want to approach the size and like adjust my hotkey, the base one, even some more. I think it's gonna be a good idea. As long as we're careful with the stocks that are a little choppy earlier in the day, we'll have a pretty good day. It'll be some smooth sailing. I'm still holding some, like a couple shares. 1836, 1808. False breakout there. Bro, I haven't gotten filled in my last 3 attempts. Oh, come on. I would have caught some of that breakout too. Are you? Come on. I took a position at 50, no fills. No fills. No fill again. Mid-30s. This pullback definitely a little bit bigger. So now I got a starter again, mid-30s, and watching. We just had 18 as our last big drop down. Will we see a higher low this time around? 16. We might be revisiting that 18 level here. This has been a tough one for short sellers though, for sure, right? Like there's been so many areas where we thought, okay, backside, and then it's like this thing's still curling up somehow. So I got 160 shares at 35 and watching here. What before I add, I need to make sure it's not like breaking down, you know. If it does come below the level, I don't want to add it at all. If we're able to hold up nicely, even if it like breaks and reclaim kind of thing. But alright, stopping out. The ad was at 99, stopping out at 92. WVE. Average cost 710 after 1710 after the first position at 35. It looks like it's coming down a bit. Now, is this backside? Is this officially backside? Or is the stock actually still once again going to curl back up? It's been quite the move here. WVE. So yeah, going back to the conversation, right? The key will be having good size through and throughout the move. That way we're never like too top heavy or anything like that, you know? We gave back a good bulk on the first break of 18, 2,500 shares, which was our biggest size of the day. At 11:15 a.m. in the day is a little, it's a little long, right? We need to be trying to be more aggressive a little earlier, around, let's say 10 a.m. our first breakout here, which was through 15. I can't even remember how the first green candle was at the time, but yeah, this consolidation here over 15. And some of them, I think this is where we did see the hidden seller. But yeah, once we're locking in the size early and having it through and through and then slowing down, we're going to be able to see much more green. And, relative to the sense that we're losing on the losses, right? Our biggest trade, I think, might have been like 90 cents. I'll have to scroll down to see if I can find it. The trade just now, even there at 808. Oh, you guys know what I mean, right? Like 1808. We're holding shares all the way up, scaling out 1850, 18. What was the high? Yeah, 70. We had shares selling even at 76. And where is it? Hold up. 54, 77, 22. There's 01, 1401 to 1480. That was a pretty good one right there. That's around 10, 11 a.m. 80 cents in that one. There's the one we just had. And there's at least like two more. Despite missing some of the bigger breakouts where the hidden sellers were there. So again, the key will be size in those areas, through and through steadily. So I'm going to think about what type of size I want to use so that tomorrow I think I'm going to be a little bit more better suited to be in nicely in terms of like the base size, because I still think gradually increasing the size throughout a move is the way to go, rather than me just being in all in full size at the first kind of line of support. Because most times for me, I'm recognizing support to be a zone rather than like a single price point. And instead of being, hey, big size one level, and then we're still like, maybe like 30 cents, especially for a stock like this, right? Your support could be like 40-cent range. Instead of being in there, big size at the high level, I think spacing out the trades will still make a lot more sense. That way we can see more follow through in terms of like accumulating the position and then scaling out on the way up. But yeah, so another decent day here, but again, the size is the key. Ay, ay, ay. Don't worry, brother. Don't worry. I mean, obviously with my people can't see everything, and even like in the past, people wouldn't be able to see everything, whether that's like on screen or what you can see mentally. So, and then with that being said, also, right, the trades that we're also seeing now, right? I mean, I can post screenshots here in the chat, but you know, is there any need to? We kind of had the analysis kind of going, right? But for those people listening, there are positions here where we're making over 80 cents a trade, right? It's just a matter of having sight. I mean, I can post like 3 screenshots here. I can go through and post all those screenshots. And then, in the chat, like whether there's people who are posting their size or they're posting just the entry points and exit points. If I'm to post my entries and exit points on those trades, like let me screenshot a couple of them. Hold up. Relative to the losses that we took sense wise. Let's go through, right? Hold up. My screen is gonna go dark here for a bit. Hold up. I need to extend it a little bit. This might work a little bit better. Let me screenshot a couple of these 50-cent winners to show the people relative to my biggest loss, right? There's one. Let's come down. Let's see. I think this might have been the biggest loss. Let's put this one. 18. I think the biggest loss might have been on this one, 1814 to 1884 on the breakout over the whole dollar. Let's come down. 50 to 70. That one is not that big. 06 to 37. Only 30 cents. Let's come down some more. Let's come down some more. 93 to 14. What's that, about 30 cents only? There's some bigger ones. Hold up. $50. This is one of the bigger losses here too. 30 in at 1630, out at 1613. How many cents did we lose? 15 cents, but we had more size in that particular trade. So again, you know, coming back to the size thing, like as long as we're able to take a bigger base size, I'm still looking for some more entries. As long as we're able to take a bigger base size, we're going to see some nice follow through. 74, 88, 78, 62, 64 to 80, not quite. 70 to 60, 10-cent loss there. Hold up. 65 to 81 to 95. I'm still in that like 30-cent range, not quite good enough. We had a loss here of 40 to 26. 50 to 67, not quite good enough. 44 to 59, 65, 85. 64, 56. Okay, here we go. 02 to 81. Yeah, okay, I'll screenshot this one. '02 to 81. 02 to 22. 46, 51, 58, 61, 78, 73. Let me add that one to the list. That was definitely one of the better ones for sure. 15 to 96 and a loss. 54 to 74. And then we had some exits at 55. I really like too that we took time to like wait for the rhythm, you know. We didn't like force the trade. Let's see, 35 and 22 to 41, 55, 60. This one was decent, not the best one for sure. I'm gonna post all of them in like a bunch post. That way it's like all together in one thing. So 1535 to 1560, 70, 44, 55, 01 to 80 at 14. Bro, if I go through, I'm telling you guys, if we, I mean, we could literally, if I'm to like make a hour recap, to like make an Excel spreadsheet to like go through every single trade, the amount of cents that I made today versus the amount of cents that I lost, like throughout the trades, it's like dollar shares difference. The key is just having the size, right, in a lot of those starter trades. This was a bigger loss here. In at 71, 66, and 40. And then out at 66, well, not quite a bigger loss. 66, 54, and 44. So we kind of like scaled into that one. We didn't really take that like a big loss there. 34 to 11. Let's see. 10-cent loss there. Okay, this has to be our biggest loss. Our average, so we took a starter 70 at 80, 74, and 44, stopped out at 26. This is the biggest loss. It's a 300 share position. 500 share position. Bought, sold. Yeah, this was the biggest loss, right? Not everybody's in the chat rooms. Not everybody's gonna be able to see. Oh, okay. Maybe I should have posted it one by one. Biggest winners versus biggest losers. So despite having, it's like despite having like 3 winners of $1 a share, right? It's like we didn't make much on the move because our size in the position relative to the losses of like 10 cents where we might have had like 500 shares. We got caught in an area like that. The moon. So we're gonna shut it down. All right, guys. For those of you going the distance, stay disciplined, stay patient. For those of you in the chat room, likewise. And tomorrow we're gonna have our hotkeys prepared for some more size. I think all in all is a pretty decent day. We just have to continue to make those adjustments and we'll be exactly where we need to be. It looks like in the chat room there's some mixed reactions. There's some green, some red. Let's see. Yeah, it's almost like 50-50 here today. Tim in the red, Alice in the red, Dash in the red, and we have MCO, Handy Girl, Jimmy, Bradley, Hollis, and a couple others in the green. Mighty, the Mighty posts. Mighty saying -1K. He'll try again tomorrow. Dash, small red day, bro. You'll be back. The champion Dash trader will be back in no time. Yeah. Yeah, so the chat room had some mixed reactions. All right, for those of you, Alan, AO, Danny, I'll catch you guys later. And likewise on the YouTube stream. I'll catch you guys in the next one.